Hello and welcome to another episode of the Offside Flag. This is episode number 10, including the grassroots special that I did last week. Hello to new viewers, returning viewers.
Yeah, we've got an interesting show today. We've got a weekend fixture preview. We've got a discussion on what you'd class as world class, and a discussion about the various transfers and rumours.
Yeah, and to finish the show off, we have got a couple of daft questions to answer, and we've also got our Super Sixes for the weekend to predict.
Yes, quite.
Which to be honest with you, I'm hoping that it's a little bit more successful than last weekend, because last weekend I was especially hopeless.
And I was slightly above that.
So yes, week number 2 of the Premier League. First game of the weekend, we'll see Man United against Southampton at Old Trafford. This is on Friday night. This is the first one of Sky Sports' Friday Night Football, which has got Rachel Riley on, which I am absolutely over the moon with.
She does nothing for me, but
It's just plenty for me.
I'm against the concept of Friday Night Football, to be honest, because I was hoping Sky wouldn't be too commercialised, and thankfully those fears have been solved. So
I didn't agree with it until I knew that Rachel Riley was going to be on it, and then I'm all for it. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, if Rachel Riley's going to present it Thursday Night Football, just do it. I don't care.
There's nothing I find sexier than long division, I must admit.
But trust me, it's not the long division. But yeah, Man United play Southampton on Friday night. 3 points United.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. And this is the difference between the Mourinho United as opposed to a Van Gaal or a Moyes one, isn't it? You look at these fixtures and you think, is United going to sweep up the 3 points? So, I think.
Yeah, United at home, first game at home under Mourinho in the Premier League. To be honest with you, I think Old Trafford's going to be a bit of a fortress this year.
Yeah.
When he was at Chelsea, he was unbeaten in, was it 3.5 years?
Yeah, didn't he carry the record over from Porto as well, I think?
Yeah.
So it was a ridiculous amount of time he stayed unbeaten for at home, and he just seems to be able to produce at home or away, actually. So,
Yeah, should be a fascinating first Friday night of the season, and I shall be watching intently.
Yeah.
For more reasons than the football. Saturday kicks off at 12:30 with Stoke against Man City. You would probably say, I know it was close on Saturday, but you would probably say this is Pep's first big real test.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's a good insight to what the Premier League is about, really. Stoke, very decent mid-table team, and will be tough to beat at home. So this will be very interesting. And one thing I'm looking forward to seeing is whether Joe Hart starts.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Joe's on his way out. He's got a couple of teams interested in him. We'll come on to that when we talk about the transfers. But it might be their first away game of the season, but I still fancy City to win.
I agree, yeah.
However, wouldn't surprise me if Stoke got a draw. No. Hence why I've severely avoided it on the Super Sixes. Next up is Burnley versus Liverpool. Big task for Burnley. This Liverpool come flying out the gates on Sunday afternoon. Yeah. Well, second half anyway. It's going to be a difficult one, this, for Burnley.
Yeah, exactly. I thought Liverpool's performance with 10 men, considering they let Moreno have annual leave, was fantastic, really. Going forward at least, they are sort of blistering, so I think they'll have far too much for Burnley.
Is Alberto Moreno the worst left-back in the league?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but he's in the top 5, or worst 5, depending on your perspective.
I mean, I watched the game on Sunday, and Gary Neville, I think, was commentating on it. And I think I said at the same time as Gary Neville, where is he? Arsenal were breaking, and he was nowhere to be seen. He just
Yeah,
offed up the pitch.
exactly. I suppose if you're going to be an attacking fullback, it's all about sort of the balance, isn't it? Really.
I don't think that's going to affect. I don't think that's going to affect Liverpool too much at Burnley.
No.
To be honest, I expect Liverpool to go there and win comfortably.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda is Swansea against Hull. Both teams winning at the on the opening weekend.
Yeah, Hull did very well with their 5 fit players have they got?
They've got 13 senior players.
It's incredible, isn't it? It sort of obviously needs heavy investment into the side, but I think Swansea, too very early to say, but they really impressed me the week against Burnley, and I think they'll have too much for Hull here. I think Llorente was a very good addition. I mentioned him earlier. Montero, if he starts, I think they've a lot of attacking prowess.
Yeah, I agree. I think Swansea will have too much for Hull. I think, well, I say that. We said that about Leicester on.
This is true, and it's one of the things that makes the Premier League such a brilliant league, really.
Yeah. If I was a betting man, which I am, I'd be going home win here.
Yeah.
It'll be tight. I think it'll be a scrappy 1-0 probably, but I expect Swansea to win.
Yeah. On to Spurs versus Crystal Palace. Very good game here. I expect London derby.
I'm going to sit here and just let you have a little rant about Alan Pardew.
No, I'm fine. I just don't think he's a great manager. That's basically it. But I think Spurs will comfortably win this one, as they've done something quite interesting. They bought a striker when the team needed a striker. It's a novel thought, but well, I guess some managers just have that ability, don't they?
Yeah. If anybody didn't get that, yes, that was a dig at Alan Pardew. Yeah, expect Spurs to win. That's one of our Super Sixes. I expect Spurs to win quite comfortably at home. With Palace signing Balassi and Jedinak this week.
Yeah,
and he's not brought anybody in yet. He's got to do it quick.
Well, I heard about the Benteke deal. That the reason why Liverpool rejected it is because part of the 30 million was
if they got in the top 4.
Yeah, contingent on the top 4. So I thought initially 30 million for Benteke, good deal all round really. But then I realised why Liverpool said no.
Yeah, let's be honest, £2.5 million of that was going to be for if Palace finished in the top 4. Liverpool weren't going to get that £2.5 million. But yeah, expect Spurs to win comfortably. If Palace can get a couple of good players in, I think Palace will be all right. But they're not at the moment, and I think it was a mistake letting these 2 players go without bringing anybody in first.
Yeah, exactly. On to another London derby. Watford versus Chelsea.
Well, just about. If we're going to be picking hairs here or whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think that's how Sky Sports do it though. Just about London derby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be. I fancy Chelsea to win this one. I think they'll be a lot more solid defensively, and they should be able to keep out Igalo and Dini. So I'm going to go for a tight Chelsea win here. 2-0.
Yeah, I agree. I think Chelsea will have too much for Watford. They do rely too much on Igalo and Dini. I think Chelsea have got a defence that are well capable of dealing with them. And I think that Chelsea strikers will be too much for Watford's defence. Can see Chelsea winning comfortably. However, they are away from home, so you never know.
Yeah, exactly, and it could be tricky, but I fancy Chelsea. And On to a team that gives away scarves, it would appear. West Bromwich Albion, and they are playing Everton.
Yeah, what a lovely gesture from the new owners.
Yes, quite. Didn't they get a free part? No, was it a free drink as well, I think?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. Yeah, they gave away free scarves at the weekend. Fair play to the owners, because they didn't have to do it. At least it wasn't one of those bloody half and half things.
Yeah, before we went on air, we were just saying about what a ridiculous concept they are, and
Before we went on air.
Yeah, exactly.
How proud does that sound?
Well, I'll wear an earpiece next time as well.
Hey, dickhead. A lot more
pro. It's not PG again.
A lot more pro than the programme actually is. A lot more PG than the programme actually is as well. Where were we? Yeah, West Brom Everton. Yeah, draw, I think.
And well, on to Leicester Arsenal with Mahrez, who's recently signed a new deal, but has told clubs that he does want away. So
yeah, to be honest, if you're signing a new deal, it's just adding money onto.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it seems like a sort of want-away wife, doesn't it? Really, it's sort of.
Yeah. Leicester first game at home as champions this season. Arsenal. I can see Vardy and Mahrez terrorising Chambers and Holding.
Yeah.
I can see Leicester winning this.
I agree that I think Arsenal will open up a lot more than Hull, so that will leave the gaps for Mahrez, Musa and Vardy to exploit. So I think it will be a lot more interesting game than Hull was for Leicester, and I think actually they'll do better. But I've only gone for a draw for Leicester. On to one of the North East derbies. Well, actually the only one now, of course. Newcastle have been relegated. Sunderland versus Middlesbrough.
Yeah, this will be fun to watch. It'll be tight. I'd imagine Lee Cattermole will probably be sent off.
Although two teams I expect to stay up because they do have decent goal scorers.
Yeah, both have got enough. Any team with Jermaine Defoe in has got enough to stay up, I think. Whatever happens at the other end, I'm sure he'll bail you out at the other.
Yeah.
Defoe versus Negredo.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to go with experience on this one, and for the Premier League at least. Well, overall actually, and I think Defoe would turn out to be the better striker in this regard. But it'd be a very interesting clash between the two.
Yeah, I'm going for a draw. I think that it'll be tight. There'll be tackles flying in. I'm hoping, because I haven't seen one for a while, I'm hoping it'll be a proper full-blooded derby.
Yeah, this is true. It's they're always the best, aren't they? That's
yeah. If there's not at least 9 yellow cards, I'll be fuming.
In the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. All to Lee Cattermole.
Yeah.
The final game of the weekend is West Ham and Bournemouth, or as I've written down, Bournemouth. No idea why. West Ham's first Premier League game in the Olympic Stadium. 50-odd thousand hammers in there. I think that it'll be comfortable for West Ham.
Yeah, fantastic team, West Ham. I'm getting a bit of a soft spot for them, and it should be very interesting to see how they get on. But I think they'll get a comfortable win here. Well, at least I hope.
I'd just like to let the viewers know that part of the reason why Gav has a soft spot for West Ham is because he's got a teeny weeny little crush on Louisa Johnson, the X Factor winner from last year, who happens to be a West Ham fan, and he's not mentioned it much.
Yeah, so on to, as I can't imagine she's a viewer of this show, Balassi moving to Everton.
Yeah, transfers this week. There's been a bit of activity. Balassi's gone to Everton for £30 million, which in my opinion is about 12 million too much.
No, I disagree. I think he's very good value for money, and the season does end in November, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, okay, he's probably £12 million too much then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good signing for Everton for about 3 months. He's a good footballer. He's done well for Palace. He's got Palace out of a few little niggles
Yeah,
recently. But 30 million's a lot of money.
it is. I think for 30 million, you need someone you can depend on week in, week out. And for me, it's only some games he appears. So I think that's the problem there.
Yeah. The other one is Niall Jedinak going to Aston Villa. This one surprised me.
Yeah, me too. I was doing a dream team and I was talking to you about possibly including him, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Because I thought he's a penalty taker and he was a cheap price. So the fact he's gone to Villa, with all due respect, is surprise. Well, the fact he's gone down to the Championship is a bit of a shock. But
yeah, as a club captain as well.
yeah, exactly. But I think Villa, the purchases they made would make them seem like they are likely to go back up. So maybe he's just viewing it as a temporary step down. So
Yeah. The rumour is that Crystal Palace will go back in for Christian Benteke. They're just going to have to restructure the pricing and the money situation. I think they'll still go in for 30 odd million pound, but listen, Alan, as much as I'd like to see Palace break into the top four, it's not going to happen, son.
no.
It's just not.
Especially not this season. Oh, the way the Premier League is getting very competitive between the top clubs.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a stranglehold on it. But a very decent signing for a team lower down the pyramid, you'd think, is Burnley. It's Stephen Defoe.
Yeah, I'll let you field this one.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, a very talented player, very good passer of the ball, very... I think Porto is one of the teams on his CV, so never a bad team to have there. So I think not bad age either, mid-20s. I expect him to add a bit of class to the Burnley midfield and replace the gap left by Joey Barton, to be honest, because I do think Joey Barton is a talented footballer. But on to Bravo.
Hang on, you just said something nice about Joe Barton on air.
Yeah, and my teeth don't feel great after gritting them.
Oh dear. Claudio Bravo, as they've apparently agreed a deal for £17 million for Claudio Bravo. However, he won't be moving until the end of the transfer window as Ter Stegen has a knee injury at the moment. So, yeah, I'm just one of those that I'm going to be biased because Joe Hart's a local lad, but I think he's been very much hard done by. We were looking at the stats earlier between him and Manuel Neuer, who I think it's a bit unfair to judge anybody against Manuel Neuer, as he is by far the best goalkeeper in the world.
I'd agree with that. He took the mantle from Buffon, in my opinion, on that one.
But yes, I think Joe Hart had 527 passes in the Premier League last season, and Neuer had 2,000 and something. However, Neuer's passing accuracy was 34% and Joe Hart's was 47%.
Exactly. So
do you really need that passing out from the back, or do you?
No, I think this is a thing. It's a very modern way of playing, isn't it? I hate this term, but the sweeper keeper.
Yeah.
But I can't see. I think Joe Hart would be fine in that role. I don't think his distribution's that bad, really. And Bravo's his quality, from what I've seen of La Liga. I mean, every Barcelona player has to be decent on the ball, regardless, don't they? But
I just think that Joe can deal with. I think that there's no worries with his distribution, and I just feel that he can deal with the physicality of the Premier League.
That is a very good point
as well.
I mean, De Gea, when he first came to the Premier League, it took him a while, despite being a fantastic goalkeeper, to adjust just because of the physical nature, didn't it? So,
yeah, I mean, how many crosses do you see getting thrown in the box in La Liga?
Very true, yeah, very rare.
Not many. You go to Stoke, mate, and you're going to get battered.
Yeah. I mean, how many times do La Liga teams play with a big striker and go long ball? I suppose it's a very different.
Yeah, it's a very different league and a very different style of play. And if I'm being totally honest, he ain't the biggest lad in the world either.
No, this is very true.
So I think he's going to struggle. I do. I generally do.
I suppose this is it when you play someone like Leicester with Morgan and Hoof up for every corner. It's
Yep.
could be rather tough for him.
Okay, that's the transfer news for this week, as far as we're aware.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go on to a couple of viewers' questions. We haven't got any serious ones this week, so we've decided to pick a couple out that are that we can answer. The first one comes from Ross Thirlwell, and it's can you eat a fruit pasta without chewing it?
You can. I have tried this. It takes a long time, and I don't know why I got so bored. I felt this was a worthy use of my time, but you can, yeah.
Yeah, you can eat a fruit pasta without chewing it. The temptation though is
yeah. Once you break down the sugary defences, you pretty much
yeah.
It's a lot easier from there.
It's a lot easier from there, but still, it's the temptation of it is. Yeah.
This is true, especially the green ones. They are the best ones.
The next question that has come in is from Cy Evans, and I apologise to anybody who this may offend, although I'd imagine it probably won't offend that many people.
No, some people like sandwiches.
Is if Vanessa Phelps and David Cameron were drowning and you only had one life jacket, what kind of sandwich would you make?
Thought about this a lot, and I'd go cheese and ham. I think the best of both worlds there.
See, I wouldn't make a sandwich because I think Vanessa Phelps would get the smell of it and easily swim out of the water. And then the question is just completely null and void then. So yeah, there'd be no sandwich making. I'd probably, to be honest with you, she wouldn't fit in a life jacket, so we're in a bit of a sticky situation here.
Yeah. This is very true.
Si, you've got us stumped, mate. We don't know.
It's one of those, the more you think about it, the more problems it presents.
Yeah.
And yes, quite. Do you remember for the first week or 2 weeks or whatever when we had serious questions? I'm not complaining, these are brilliant, but it's just sort of, we've gone away from that a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah, the tone of viewers' questions seems to have.
Yeah, we seem to have gone away from Paul Scholes and what type of value would he get nowadays, and just we're on to the fruit pastel section.
Yeah. Right. We have a little topic that we'd like to discuss, and it is, what do we describe as world class?
Yeah, it's a topic I brought up earlier when we were discussing the show, again professional, and it's something that's always interested me because a lot of people have very different opinions on what world class is actually, and for me, it's if you are one of the top 5 players in your position, then you have deemed the honour of being world class. What would you class as being world class?
Would you really go top 5?
Yeah.
There's that many players in the world.
True, but I mean, world class for me is sort of, it's a very elite group.
I don't think there's many players on this planet that you can call world class.
No, but I think 50, well, say not 55, but damn it, 45 world players. I think that's enough to call world class, considering how many play in top leagues and things like that.
I would describe world class as playing well for your club and your country, and winning and achieving things. I've always had arguments with people over the Steven Gerrard debate. Some say he was world class and some say he wasn't. I would say personally that he wasn't, because he never performed for England.
I don't know about that, because it's the old, when people talk about Messi and not being one of the best players of all time because he hasn't won anything for Argentina. I think nowadays the Champions League replaces international football. If you can perform in the Champions League, you're pretty much, that is your proving ground.
Yeah.
I think the country's almost secondary. And also, obviously the club is someone you play for because of your ability. The country you're kind of stuck with. So how much can you drag your country to success in some cases?
Yeah. No, that's true. I'm just one of those people that I believe that at the moment or over the last couple of years that Cristiano Ronaldo has been the best player in the world, and I believe this because he's played in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He's played in Spain. I don't think you could really judge Messi until he
No.
plays in another league. To be honest, don't get me wrong. He is world class. There's no going against that. However, I would like to see him play in another league and test himself against better opposition, because in the Premier League, he's not going to get Spanish defenders or defenders that are scared of him backing off all the time. He goes up against someone like Ryan Shawcross, he's going to get crunched.
I agree there. I think Ronaldo offers slightly more than Messi does in terms of his physical presence. He's good in the air and things like that. But some of the things Messi can do with a football is just completely mesmerising, and it's a joy to have been brought up in his and Ronaldo's generation, to be honest.
Yeah, I once said that Messi was nothing without Xavi and Iniesta.
Yeah, there is the old joke about the night out, isn't there? And the girl asks, where are the other two?
Yeah.
But I don't know, because he is Argentina's top record goal scorer. So I don't think his Argentina record is that bad. So I think he is underrated in that regard, in terms of his national performances.
I would argue that him and Ronaldo are playing in a league that isn't that difficult.
I see, technically, I think it's the best league, but I just feel that, say, in Italy it's very defensive, you will struggle to get goals. Spain is a lot more open, isn't it? So I think that's where you get the ridiculous amount of goals Messi and Ronaldo score. And I can imagine it would be slightly lower in the Premier League or Serie A. But
well, we had that debate a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
About which is the best league in the world. But yeah, I'd say Ronaldo's the best player in the world, and he is world class. I'd say Messi's world class.
One I'd put in there is Philipp Lahm as a very underrated player in terms of the top players in the world. So he's tactically adept and seamlessly goes to midfield or right back or wherever. And I think if you're going to make a team of players, with just one player, it would probably be Lahm.
Yeah.
Because I can't see really what he's bad at in the game of football.
No, this is true. Right, to end the show, we have our Super Sixes. Gav is currently leading 6-3. So I'm hoping for a bit of a comeback and resurgence this week. Our Super Six fixtures this week are Burnley and Liverpool, Spurs and Crystal Palace, West Brom and Everton, Leicester Arsenal, Sunderland Middlesbrough, West Ham Bournemouth. So first of all, Burnley Liverpool, I've gone 2-0 to Liverpool.
I've gone 3-1, but I've just realised something. If I always went for your result, I'd stay in the lead all season.
Yeah, and I'd probably slap you. Spurs against Palace, I've gone easy 3-0 win to Spurs.
I've gone for 2-0 to Spurs.
West Brom and Everton, I've gone for a 1-1 draw.
I've gone 1-0 Everton.
Leicester and Arsenal, I've gone for 2-1 to Leicester.
I've gone 1-1.
Sunderland and Middlesbrough, I've gone 1-1.
Same as me.
And West Ham against Bournemouth, I've gone for 2-0 to 2-0 to West Ham.
Yeah, and I'm also hoping for a 2-0 win to West Ham.
Yeah, it should be an intriguing weekend of football. I think that I'm hoping results go the way that we've put them, because they didn't last week. But that just leaves me to say that thank you very much for watching. Obviously, episode 11 will be released on Wednesday. So we'll be filming it early next week. and we'd just like to say thank you to the people that continue to watch and support us.
Yeah, thank you very much. It really is much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you very much.